Coming in live. There we go. Oh, that's not really crooked, really, because the hill, it's right, it's straight. People, angels, what's going on? I am, well, just welcoming you to the live stream. I'm live. I hope you're, well, if you're here, you're live, just so you know, in case no one told you. It might feel a little rough, though. It's been a Thanksgiving. Working, you know. I hope everybody's doing good. Starting to feel like I'm yelling over that radio. I tried to get everything clear and quiet enough. I've got the heater in the back going. I've got it warm enough in here that I can do a live, and then I'm going to want to turn the truck on and get it going. So I see some people coming to the room. I appreciate y'all showing up, showing out. I'll be giving some knowledge today. Knowledge of the forever time of medicines to keep you well, because you would think that during a pandemic the country you live in would care enough about you to say, give you a list of things that you should go and buy to maybe up your immune system and make you healthy and better. But as it turns out, it's just me. Maybe some other people on the planet are trying to help you too, but nah, not so much. You know, I think we need more healers. I know I've told a few they are healers. I'm not saying that we need to network. I'm saying we just need to be more of us out here. Because you can't even go to the hospital right now without worrying about getting COVID, or worrying about even getting MRSA or a staph infection or anything else that is going around in a hospital. So, not to go deep into it, but a person I healed, he told me a few things, and it sparked my oh, what's up, Helen Michelle? Appreciate you showing up. It sparked my lit a fire in me to say, you know, I need to share some of this knowledge. So if you are a healer, I also talked to another healer. He is from India, and he was telling me he thinks he is a healer because he had a sensing of someone, knowledge about someone that had a kidney problem. Maybe they were, you know, needing surgery, and he was trying to tell them, listen, I think you got a problem with your kidney. He could tell by their skin. He had a sensing about it, not just seeing the skin, but the skin confirmed it, the yellowness of the skin. And so it's a little different with healers. First you sense it, then you say it, and you start looking around, you see all these signs. Yeah, that's confirmation. So the skin was confirmation for him. That's how it happens. Like I get confirmation of the angel bloodline. Well, okay. So going further, I was speaking with him. Super nice guy. They made great lamb, and I needed some lamb, and so he made me dinner. And while they were making it, I was talking to him, and then before I left, we talked more, and I was buying incenses in his store, and he says, you know about incense? I said, I know about it quite a few things. And we were talking more, and he's like, how do we learn about this? How do I know if I'm a healer or not? You know, I get your voice. Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm here, people. So he was telling me, I'll turn this radio down even more. He was telling me, he was saying, you know, I believe I am a healer. That guy told me he thinks I'm a healer. He thought it was odd that he went to the doctor and got checked out, and he did have that problem. And he says, I'm thinking I'm a healer. He says, and you telling me that I'm a healer? I said, yeah. I says that because I told him straight up, even before he said that, I said, someone has already told you you're a healer. You are a healer, and this is confirmation. This is two. He didn't have to say it. I had a knowing. I was told this. So he said, I don't know how you know this. He says, but it's true. He says, but that guy told me, he's, well, what do I go from here? What do I do? What am I supposed to do as a healer? I said, well, what I do is different than what you can do, because I put my arms on people, on their right arm, my hands on their arm, and I pray for God to heal them in the name of Jesus Christ. Now, that being said, there's only one God. I do not limit this. I don't limit that. But if you are a Sikh and your religion is different, if you are Hindu, it doesn't matter. There are healers for each peoples. I can heal their people. Doesn't really matter. It's all in them and their relationship with the Creator, and ultimately it's up to God. I've only had one person I told him that I could not heal. Seemed odd. It's not that he needed a healing. It was a little something different. I was trying to explain to him, you are a healer, but I got knowledge he should have been a Sikh. He said he was a Muslim. I said, there's something wrong there. You need to work on that. He's like, well, and it's kind of odd to tell somebody. But he says, you know, I was told that, but I was also told I was a healer from someone else. He says, but we knew a healer. I says, I'm telling you, I've told you also. I'm the second person to tell you this. I'm confirming this. But he did not believe, and so when I put my hands on his arm to show him, usually people that feel a tingling and warm as heating pad, they're like, oh, okay, well, that is something. That's powerful. He felt to me like a cold, almost not like a dead person or something, but like numb to nothing, like I could have been putting my hand around laundry in a laundry basket. Okay, people? So there was nothing there to help. Either he'll come around or whatever. Some people come around their last breath. It doesn't matter. Just know, don't be disheartened if you're a healer and you do this and then you find someone. It's not that you've lost your ability. It's ultimately up to God. But I'll say this. What you do from here is you learn about knowledge, because even if you don't heal with laying of hands, God will give you knowledge to heal people of sicknesses, that there are natural remedies that you can heal them with that work. Nostradamus was, like I said before, outside of the box. They wanted to kill him because he was using apothecary and medicines that were not considered to be run-of-the-mill. He was using knowledge that was given to him. It was ancient knowledge, but it was given to him he was gazing into a bowl and getting knowledge. But also, just know this, he was basically taking cedar oil, which is the first antibiotic, wrapping it up with rose hips, which is why I say always take vitamin C, not just vitamin C, but vitamin C with rose hips. Rose hips are not on a rose, they're a little ball. They're high in a different kind of vitamin C. It's different. Just trust me. So vitamin C with rose hips that are vitamin C. So vitamin C with rose hips, but he was taking that, likely pine needles, because they're in vitamin C, high in vitamin C, of the conifer, which is the symbol of the healer, in case you don't know. I'll get into that in a bit. People who don't even know what they're looking at when they look at petroglyphs, I'm given the knowledge. I know what an angel looks like. It's the one with the wings. So you can look at Enki and Enlil, or whatever you want to call those that are there. You can look at Isis, the Egyptian goddess. If they have wings, that is first or second generation angels. The creatures they created is where they sinned against the animals, but they had wings also. So there's that. But like I said, my knowledge of, you could call it, I don't know if the word esoteric even sticks. You just call it knowledge of the forever time that's not in books, and I get it. People don't understand what they're looking at when they see the pictures. They see a picture of a man holding a bag with a pine cone in his hand. They don't understand that the bag was natural minerals and vitamins and medicines, and the conifer was a symbol of basically, since the evergreen tree comes back every year, it was the symbol of him being a healer. But people are not, they were never given that knowledge. I was given that knowledge. So the old petroglyphs of that, and they always have a bag and they always have a pine cone, it means they were also healers. They would go around and keep people so they would come back year after year. Natural antibiotics was part of what was in the bag. So, cedar oils. So back to Nostradamus. They wanted to kill him too. He had protection of a queen, but they always want to kill the healers. They killed Jesus. They wanted to kill Nostradamus. They killed Rasputin. Maybe they'll kill me one day. I've got an expiration date anyways. It's not like I'm gonna live forever. I'll probably live in my hundreds. Does not matter. Healers have always been looked down on, but now is a time where you can't even get to a hospital. And I say, not only do we need more healers, but they need to have the knowledge, and this is the knowledge I'm giving. Okay. Even if you don't do the laying of hands healing, there are medicines that are natural, homeopathic, whatever you want to call them. Knowledge of roots and medicines. Some of it has been lost when they went around and killed what they called witches, but they were not. They were just simply people who were healing with medicines, like Nostradamus was. That's why he got kicked out of the school. He wasn't even, they closed the school later, but he got kicked out of it before they even closed it during the plague, because he was making his own medicines. That was considered to be taboo at the time, and against the church and against everything. And it was, oh, everything was bad. But he had a 98% success rate of curing people of the plague. We are currently in a plague, people. It's a plague that we all have to wear masks, and that we will likely get it anyhow, because even a mask did not stop it from leaving a laboratory, a level 4 laboratory in Wuhan, China. So let's just go further. We need to take vitamin D, okay, and vitamin C. The vitamin D, and there's a doctor in England, John Campbell. I'll put a link up to one of his videos, and they just did a clinical trial on vitamin D. D3 is what it is, being boosting your immunity so that you don't get it, or so that it actually beats this virus. So there's that. So basically there's a cure, and it's a vitamin. You should take it. I highly recommend it. Now, if you're taking it, if you get a vitamin D pill that's 1,000 milligrams, you're going to take 2 of them. That's 2,000 milligrams, or IU, 2,000 IU, sorry. International units, 2,000. If you have one that's 400, that's even better, because those little 400 ones, and the 1,000 are little too, but the 400 ones, IU, 400 IU, you can take, say, 2,600 a day. If you're getting sunlight in the summertime, which it's not anymore, you would be taking 3 of them. But then you would be taking 6, which you could be about 2,400. That's as close as you can get, about 2,500. It wouldn't even hurt if some people are getting 50,000 units in a shot, and it's just a load up at the first of the month. It's kind of crazy. It's too much. It's not necessary. Just know 2,600 units, whatever, a day. Per day now, people. So that's 5 or 6 pills of those 400s. Of the 1,000, just 2. The vitamin C with rose hips, there is a Emergen-C that gives you 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C, and that's a high dose. You would take that around flu time if you've been around or you start to get the sniffles. You could take that many of the vitamin C with rose hips, that many units. If you've got a 500 milligram, you could take 3 of them. I would say you don't want to overdose and take like 5 or nothing like that. I would say take the recommended 1,000, even, 500 or 1,000 per day, 1 or 2 a day. Iron is something that people have, some people, some angels have sensed, and it's different. And I have to tell them, okay, you got an issue with iron, and you already know this. And they battle back and forth. They need it, but they can't take it. And some people have to be low on the iron for something else to be good. It's different per person. Basically, if you can take iron, you're going to take it 1 to 2 pills, not every day. Like 1 for one day, and then maybe 2 the next day, and then 1 the next day. When you get stopped up and can't go, it's that kind of thing. That's how you know you've got too much iron. But it will stop you if you are the kind of person that in a 65 degree or even 70, close to 70 degree room, that you get chills and you have to wear a sweater and everything else. That's a big sign you're low on iron. I get a sensing of it. It's different. I don't see people like the Aborigine people do. I am Cherokee, but I have this different gift. I don't know where it splits off. All I know is I have 2 gifts. One is I sense the blood. The other one, the DNA of angels. And the other one is I sense issues with people's body. It's like being an empath. I mean, I'm an empath, but I don't exactly feel complete pain, but I sense it and I tell them about it. I'll get that comment in a second. But I don't scan them like the Aboriginal people do. I'll try to put up a link to their video. They got them going into hospitals and healing people, and they scan their bodies, is what they say. I don't exactly scan their body. I do start at, you know, one place or another, the top or the bottom, and go down to the feet or up to the top. Either way, I get something, but I can't call it a scanning exactly if they're seeing things that I'm not. I don't know what they see, and they don't talk. When they're healing people, they do a massage kind of thing in different places. They don't use words. They don't talk. So it's different than what I'm able to do. But like I said, back to the vitamin thing of it, and I'm going to give a few more vitamins and I'll check this comment here. Past iron, elderberry is a good one. Just think of it as elder, and if you're getting older, well, it's vitamins that will keep you from getting sick. They used to say that you know, flu is a child's worst enemy and an old person's best friend, because a child's worst enemy because it can kill a child, and then the old person because they're ready to die and they're like, it'll take you out quicker and easier than other things. It's a horrible way to think of life, but that was just an old saying that was what it was. And especially a long time ago when there wasn't doctors, that's what they would pray for us to die in their sleep, kind of thing. So you don't have to live that way. You can take vitamins. So like I said, the D3 is going to help. If you're in full sunlight, you're only going to take 3. If you're not, especially in the wintertime, you know, 5 to 6 of the 400 IU. If it's 1,000, just take 2 of them. Other than that, you've got what is the other one? I talked about iron, B12, D3. Let's see if I can even check this list out here. I wrote down a couple of them in case I got lost like this. Well, of course, a multivitamin. Okay, I left out a multivitamin. But from there, okay, there's benefits that you really need to use. Like if you're getting just a can of chicken noodle soup is so good because there's a lot of protein in chicken broth, but if you add to it chives and basil and garlic, you're really loading it up with antioxidants. Garlic and basil, those two together are powerful. In India, they have a spice called saffron. It's an antioxidant. And then honey in water. I take honey and I pour it in water. I might actually do that in a minute. I'm going to use the rest of this to fix this water up. And I turn it upside down and swirl it. I don't shake it up, but I swirl it. And then I turn it right side up and swirl it. I do it a couple times, and then it bonds molecularly with it. Honey in cold water has one effect in the daytime. Then at night, you can have it at night. But getting into that, there's a lot to this. Where else should I start at this point? So let me go into this. Okay. In order to heal, we'll stay with healing right now because I'll get into sleeping in a bit. Okay. Epsom salt has healing abilities because you cannot fight a battle on 2 fronts. People, you have got to start, if you haven't already, soak your feet in Epsom salt, and the one manufacturer that I say is even better than the others, Village Naturals. It's a green packet and it's $1. It's up on the shelf. It's a small packet for $1. 1 packet of that will do the first night, and then a half packet for the next 3 nights each. You know, a half packet each, at least a half. You could use a whole packet the next 3 nights, but I'm just saying you can save money. But the first night, an hour and a half, soak your feet in that, in the warmest water. It's these green rocks. It's Village Naturals with spearmint and menthol alcohol and spearmint. It's green rocks because of the menthol alcohol. You can put it right on your feet, rub them together or whatever, and then pour water, warm water on it. Nothing lives in it. You will look like you just had, in 30 minutes of it, you'll look like you just had the best pedicure of your life. like you had brand new feet, beach feet. Well, you have to do that so you're not fighting a battle on two fronts. You've got to do that. So it's not an option, okay? Don't do it in a bathtub. Do it in a small container like a bucket or a bin. And if you have any kind of chafed skin or any kind of flake skin up on your legs, do it all the way up to your knees if you have to in a 5-gallon bucket with water. If you do that much water, use 2 packets. You want it really concentrated, but nothing lives in it. So an hour and a half the first night, then 30 minutes the next night, 30 minutes the next night, 30 minutes the next night. And it will cure you. And spray your shoes with some kind of a bacteria killing powder, even baking soda, whatever, and wash your socks with bleach. That's the first thing you need to do in healing. The first thing. And if you have a place where skin is broken or, you know, dried looking and messed up on your elbows or your arm, same thing. Soak it in that Epsom salt in a bucket. Hour and a half, then 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. It's a cure-all for any type of bacteria on the outside of your skin, even if you think it's on the inside. Don't take medicines on the inside for something that's on the outside. Also, creams don't work. They halfway work. Forget about waiting 3 or 4 weeks. 30 minutes and it cures it. But an hour and a half the first night, then 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. So I will pound that into ground if I have to, till everybody does this. You can do it in an 18-wheeler sitting in your truck with a square plastic bin from Walmart under your steering wheel. And then once you do that, about every 6 months, you'll just do it for 30 minutes once. There's no more bacteria. You can even treat your feet bad at that point. All the skin will grow back together, and everything will die. But you could treat your feet bad by like going even a couple of days where you don't have time to, you know, wash your feet, just change your socks and stuff, and you still won't get, because there's no bacteria on your feet anymore. You still won't have that problem. You have solved the problem. But every 6 months, do 30 minutes with a full pack in the warmest water you can handle. Okay. In South Korea, they have a mixture that they use sticks and twigs and stuff, and it's boiling hot water. It works. It'll heal you. You won't come. It's the same thing. Just use Epsom salt. And Epsom salt is not salt. It's magnesium sulfate. But for the angels that are allergic to sulfur, just understand, sulfate is not sulfur. It's fine. You can do it. If you have any kind of a MRSA or staph or something like that, I would take a full bag of the stuff, if not 2, put it in a full bathtub and immerse yourself in it. They've said that there are healing properties of the Dead Sea because of the high salt content. That salt does a little something close to magnesium sulfate, but magnesium sulfate's got it beat. Way stronger and better, and you don't have to fly to the Dead Sea. They just like it because you float like a cork and it's odd, they get healed. Well, there's that. Nothing lives in that either. Guess what? Nothing lives in, not even bacteria. It won't live on your body. So, going further, now that you've healed your feet and you've taken your vitamins and honey and water, we'll go into a few other things. If you are sick and you have a problem where you have a sore throat, after you eat and drink, like you can make what's called a hot toddy with some alcohol and some peppermint, if you can handle peppermint. Some people are allergic, who knows, you know, but the soft one. And some people use salt and pepper shaker. Pepper, believe it or not, just pepper, like you'd put on food. That's a bit much for me. But in with some hot tea, so you warm up some hot tea and some honey, a good bit of honey, a couple teaspoons, heat that up. You can add the alcohol when you're done so it doesn't boil it out. Any kind will work. Jack Daniels, something like a bourbon, and lemon. After you heat it up, add the lemon. But then after you're done drinking that, like I said, even if you don't have that, after you eat and drink everything for the day so that you don't cough all night, cut a lemon wedge, suck on it and get the lemon in the back of your throat, and then don't drink anything else after that, even, or maybe just a sip of water, because it washes down the effects, but it will numb the back of your throat. All right, so now we're going into nighttime, and you may need to sleep. Not trying to skip over what I was going to talk about. I'll say this real quick though. Communion with God, where I drink Welch's grape juice and accept that as the blood of Christ, and Keebler Club crackers and accept that as the body of Christ. I do that once, twice a day, to let God know I'm here and I'm paying attention, I'm trying to do good, and take communion. Even though you're not in with a bunch of other people, you can do it, and God will make it so that you can. Because when the church doors were closed once, there was a saint that tried it or said that, look, I can't take communion, and God said that her angel could do it with her. So just understand you can take communion right here in the truck stop. I'll go further though, back into sleeping. People are having a problem sleeping. This is knowledge of sleeping. Okay. Chamomile tea, in case you've forgotten. Chamomile will put you out. Think of coffee as waking up and chamomile is waking out. Just going to sleep. Set your alarm clock before you do these things. So chamomile tea with honey. Okay? Maybe even lemon, but I'll go a little further. If you're having problems sleeping, that new meditation music, the one that's an hour and 11 minutes and 11 seconds long, I'll put a link up to that. It's Reiki healing music. That will help put you out. It will clear you. It does a healing that's like a cleansing. I can't describe it. It's on your wavelength. But add to that this, okay? Because you need to know incense have always been used by the church to clear the room of any negative energy, but also even pestilence won't go nowhere near it. No flies will go into the temple, they said. They also found some old incense that they recreated, and they took wild natural flowers from the area, and they because they found them in the caves, they reproduced it. They said that must have been the incense from the temple, because they had a problem with flies in the laboratory. They burnt some and it made all the flies leave the laboratory. This was a study done, I think, back in the 90s when they found that. So incense works. Some people use smoke from a fire from different woods. I'm going to say this: if you're having trouble sleeping, you can burn, to clear the area, you can burn sage. If you can't get any sage, not just incense, but actual sage. There's a sage incense, but frankincense and myrrh. If you get them separately, they're stronger and better. But you can get frankincense mixed with myrrh and burn it, and it has a good effect. Then when you're done with that, this is about an hour or so before you go to bed, then burn lavender. Lavender will put you to sleep. I've got all of these incense back in a drawer back there in the back. And even just opening the drawer, the smell of the incense comes out and I'm ready to go to sleep. That's how strong incense is. You don't even have to burn it if you have a lot of it together, and all together it has an effect, and it's so strong, it's medicine. It's knowledge of the forever time that was not given to you as something, except for they look at it as being on the fringes of what is accepted. Or, trust me, it works. They're starting to make lavender soaps and lavender oils and tell people, oh, by the way, these are essential oils. Essential means necessary for life and living and happiness. Essential. They named it correctly, naming it essential oils. These are essential scents, essential incense, frankincense, myrrh. You can use Egyptian musk if it speaks to you. Some people like cherry, and there's a black cherry, that's okay. But lavender will make you able to sleep when you previously were not. And as far as incense holders, you can get a little tray one, a wooden one, or you can get a gallon of water and cut the top out of it and fill it with sand. In India, they tend to put like 15 or 20 of those sticks straight up and down, sticking into flower pots with sand. Just not for flowers, just for the incense, and they'll burn like 20 of them at a time, and then put more in there when they burn out. It's like, man, they like some smells. That's too much, especially for an enclosed area like a truck. I'm not going to tell you that you can stick them in your air conditioning vents and have them sticking out and light them and that'll be okay, but I can tell you that's been done. I want to say that. It works. I'm telling you, people. I put an ashtray down at the bottom anyhow, but seriously, you're not going to light everything on fire. It's an incense. It's not a sparkler. But be careful with it. And like I said, they have those incense trays. You can take a, gallon jug and put sand in it or anything like that and stick it straight up and down. It'll help you sleep. So chamomile tea will help you sleep. Lavender will help you sleep. Warm water with tea, or just warm water. You don't want a caffeinated tea. So chamomile tea, but with honey. Honey in warm water is going to also help you sleep. Like I said, the Reiki healing music, do all that together, you'll be out. You better set your alarm clock. Other than that, all of the turkey and dressing and all of the, basically the carbohydrates, all the starches that you ate today will probably make you go to sleep. And so there's that. So this is just some knowledge. I think I've gone over most of the stuff I wanted to go over here. I had to get this out because I get a little distracted, especially because there's one in the room that was of the bloodline and affects me. And so I will get the comments here. And also this. As far as I know, it's getting into be wintertime, you're not using it so much, but using DEET as a spray on your body to go camping is not a great idea. There's a product called Skin So Soft. It says SSS on it. Skin So Soft from Avon has been known, you can take and put it in a spray bottle and mist it on you. It's a little oily on the back of your arms. It's good for your skin, and mosquitoes stay away from it, far away from it. Also, you can burn those little teapot lanterns that have the oil that makes basically makes mosquitoes stay away. You can put them in a circle around your area where you're camping. So stay away from putting chemicals on your body and then trying to wash it off later and it bothering you. DEET's no good. Skin So Soft, you will learn to appreciate Skin So Soft from Avon. You got to find an Avon dealer. So I'm our salesperson. Let me see the comments here, and I apologize. I had to get through what I was getting through so that I could. All right. Yeah, like a Jay from Safe Farm. Okay, let's see. Dr. Mark, okay. For what it's worth, vitamin C is water soluble. You can't really overdose on water soluble vitamins. That's awesome. A, D, E, and K are fast soluble. They can damage your liver, etc. Okay. Well, D is necessary right now because of the epidemic and people are not getting enough sunlight, so they need it in their body. Let's see. Soursop has the highest amount of antioxidants in any fruit on the planet. Next is alma powder that are ground goji berries. I will look into that. And I want to mention a product, and this is just funny. This is just funny. I bought it just because it's funny. I laughed, I really did. This is a bottle of stuff, and you can look it up. This was at Walmart in Iowa. It's called Vermont Village. VERMONT VILLAGE. Vermont Village Daily Elixir Gut Fixer. What does it say? Shrub Mixer. I don't know. This stuff is funny. I'll put a picture up on it. I'll put it in community like tomorrow or something. I'm gonna be running, but it's turmeric and honey. Turmeric is the one thing I did not mention yet. So turmeric is antioxidant, but this is turmeric and honey, and the other thing I didn't mention, apple cider vinegar. I like to put a little apple cider vinegar on salads. or even make my own Italian dressing with it. It's good for you. You could take, like, this is saying, let's see, raw and unfiltered with the mother. They're talking about the mother, the honey or whatever. Okay. This stuff here, like I said, Vermont Village turmeric and honey, apple cider vinegar, raw and unfiltered with the mother. It says contains 8 shots. They're saying you take shots of this. It's a prebiotic. Not that I'm dying to take this or anything, because I have my own honey and I get honey. Turmeric is something I was going to get as a spice. Apple cider vinegar, I'm just going to take it straight. So I'm going to take my own and dose myself with the apple cider vinegar, a full, like, shot glass shot of apple cider vinegar. But this was just hilarious. I had to buy it. It's just too funny. It says, yes, shake it. The best stuff is on the bottom. Anyways, it was just too funny not to buy. So they have this in Walmart, and you could look it up on the internet and find it. It says 8 shots around the top label and 8 shots at the bottom. It's a yellowish orange with a white ribbon across, or strip across, where it says the turmeric and honey apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar is good for you. So is the honey. But I do honey at different times of the day in 2 different ways. Other than that, you know, you just can't beat chicken noodle soup. I mean, they've known it. So it's the let's see, whatever happened to Alexander. You know what? I have not heard from him, and I have not found my notebook. I do not know. It's in time. There you go. That's all I can say about that. That's not something I can control either. There's things that are out of my control, and I don't worry about them. Let's see here. Yeah, Traveler. No, I get it, Traveler. Yeah. So I can't control what's there. There are things, like I said, it's not, nothing that happens to me is normal. Nothing. The only thing that's normal about what happens to me is that it's all abnormal. So there's that. So I will say this. I was asked a question by the guy, almost challenged, that was the Muslim that felt dead in my hand, basically, when I had my hand on his arm, and saying, you know, it's like this with the healing. Most people, it would be overwhelming. They would get it, and that, you know, he felt nothing. I felt nothing with him, though, and it's really, really odd. So he was challenging me by saying, you talk of angels, what do they look like? I told him, I know, and I know that it's a white light, but they do have a form, and they can you know, bring themselves to you, and I know that different angels have different amount of wings and this kind of thing. Most have 2 sets. So here's the point. There are engraven statue images of rulers that were considered to be what they call gods. I think they wanted to have their own dominion, and they were making the people believe that they were gods. And they had angel wings. It is what it is. That is what they look like. So if you have questions of what they look like, you could look at Isis. You could look at, which actually, that being a female, that would have been 2nd generation, because all the ones in heaven are male. Because the 200 of them that came down to the mountain, they were all of them, they're male. Because there's no reason for them exactly to reproduce. They are created by God. But 2nd generations of them, and creations that they made where they sinned against the animals, and they made these, I don't know what you call them. Some of them look like they have, what are they, like, eagle heads with lion bodies with wings. Maybe that's called a griffin. I'm not sure. Whatever. They created them. So there were those that were carved with these same angels in the Sumerian carvings. So If someone questions, well, how come they've never carved them in history? Well, they did. They also talked about them in the Bible. They talked about the ones that came to Mary. Those were from heaven. They weren't ones that were what is called the fallen. And then they made up that name Nephilim, which means it's just a word for fallen. It's not a type of exactly angel. It's fallen ones. And they have abilities, and they taught about, well, also about medicines and about all kinds of things. They taught too much. That's what the problem was. So you don't give man swords in a time of peace and say you should have this, you know. But now we have to ready ourselves because it's always constant war. So anyway, but like I said, I take communion a lot. Grape juice and the Keebler Club crackers. God gives me a filling of the Spirit, a lifting. I see numbers that tell me I'm on the right path, and it really does help. And so I hope that if you're becoming a healer, I hope that you get the confirmation of numbers. I hope that you get the feeling of, not feeling, but filling, like filling up a glass, the filling of Spirit. I hope that it helps you to keep going. And I hope you wash your hands with cold water every time you heal someone by laying of hands, because that's important. Some people talked about they got into what they think is Reiki, which Reiki is 2 words. It's just, you know, a Eastern philosophy of laying of hands. It means putting hands on healing, re and keep. It's basically healing of touch. So, mine is not just energy, it's from God, it's not from me, and I always say all the glory goes to God. I take no glory for it. So there's that. And I'm not perfect, I'm just a man on earth, I'm a sinner. I'm not what I would call a prophet. God speaks for himself. I do get messages. I do get what I have to call it the whispers of angels. That's what I get. So it even talks about it in the Bible, the whispers of angels. It does say, though, that anybody that says things, even if it's the whispers of angels, that's not John's what's it called, biblical teachings, basically, then they're wrong, because there was people at that time that were saying all kinds of things that weren't even biblical, weren't even close. I just give knowledge of what's going on. I'm not writing a different theology or Bible in any way. And just like the Catholic priests that get information from heaven, they say this is not dogma, this is just what I'm saying, so you don't have to believe it, but I'm telling you it to be true. But everything I say has medical connotations and it's accurate. And so it's not dogma, it's not written in the Bible unless I say it is. And I'll show you, I can say where it is. Or you can look it up. So, but they have always been healers. And those healers, even those angels were healers. The angels that were the fallen angels carried a bag and a conifer, a pine cone, to teach people in the same way that this pine cone, it's kind of like how, to be simple, for people to understand who are farmers or this, and they understand these things. The way they taught was like St. Patrick. St. Patrick took a 3-leaf clover and said, this explains the Trinity. That's the Father, that's the Son, that's the Holy Spirit. They come from the same thing. But they're separate, but they're together. The way the angels taught was they had a pine cone in their hand and they had the medicine bag, and they would teach with the pine cone to say, this is a conifer, this comes back every year. If you want to come back every year, I can tell you how, and I will help you to come back every year by giving you medicine. And the people that were sick would go to them. There's that. Those were the healers. There are lots of healers. People with the bloodline tend to have a gift of healing. It is what it is. So, I'm not going to carry a pine cone. Just for sakes, I might take a picture of that just to make a point. But I think I can pretty well speak, and everybody understands the written word now, and we can tell people, listen, I'm a healer. I can even tell you in Spanish, yo soy una sanadora espiritual, and then you will understand I'm a spiritual healer. It is what it is. But it doesn't all have to be laying of hands, because a lot of it's medicines. So even if you don't have the gift of laying of hands, understand that you can learn, just like the guy said, how do I go further? It's from sharing knowledge like this. So all of the apothecary of roots and things, a lot of it was lost and then had to be refound. And just keep in mind, in the same way that an orange cures scurvy, and they would love for you to forget that, but I want you to remember it, so that they can make a medicine and sell it to you if you ever had scurvy from not having vegetables, and like the old sailors used to get, and they would die from it, from being at sea. But they would, the natives of these islands would say, no, come here, you need this. They would give them citric fruit, and it cured them. Then it got spread all around the English fleet. Hey, look, this is a cure. We have a cure for scurvy. It's still a cure. All of these things are still cures. Nothing has changed, and they haven't come out with anything better, because the chemicals they put in any type of cure that's made in pharmaceutical, company slows you from healing, especially pain medication. So if you can stay away from pain medication and take vitamins, you will actually heal faster. Now, if you have a problem with your heart and you're needing heart medicine, continue to take that. But the pain side of things, pain medication, I think they need healers in every hospital to take away the pain, so these people can actually heal quicker. They've already done this in Australia, and the Aborigine people will come to the hospital. They go in there, they scan the people. It's different than what I don't know how to describe it, because I don't know what they're seeing. I know what I sense. I don't see. I sense and feel to see. It's different. It's like a picture, but it's not. Whatever it is they do works, and they have them in the hospitals, and they don't talk. They don't say one word. They go in there and they start doing what they do, and the person comes out cured. So at some point, maybe our country will wake up to this, but in the meantime, we have a disease that people are trying to come up with a inoculation. Hopefully it's not forced at gunpoint, because no one wants it, no one trusts it. There's different companies that are hiding half of their data. It is that. So in these times where you can't even go to a doctor because there's an epidemic and everybody's scared of getting it if you go to the hospital, because people have been in there with it and it got out of a level 4 biolab, so you don't want to think that a mask is going to save you even if you go to the hospital. Basically, which the O bloodline, you're immune to it, but you can still get it. You can spread it to other people that aren't. So basically, you should be learning how to take care of yourself, even if you're not a healer. But we need more healers. So if anybody's got anything else to say, I'll drop it like that. Just wanted to do a quick update, and like I said, pound it into the ground that you need to be soaking your feet and your body, if necessary, in Epsom salts, and stop trying to fight it. It's a battle you can't win, because then you just get older, and the older you get, it's still on your skin, and you'll have it your whole life. I knew a guy that he said his dad had it, he thought it was genetic. I said, no, it's not genetic, man. Soak your feet in Epsom salt, you'll cure it. It'll be gone from you. And then spray your boots, or just throw them away if they're that bad, but spray your boots with something that kills any kind of what they call fungus, and then wash your socks in bleach, or throw them away, the other ones that you don't want to keep, and it will be cured. But it works for the whole body. It also, like I said, nothing lives on it. So if I don't care if you're talking whatever kind of staph infection, MRSA, whatever you're talking about, there's a reason they bag this stuff up and sell it at Walmart. It's because somebody went to a doctor that actually knew something, and they sent them to Walmart to get it, or to the CVS to get it. It's a good medicine. So hour and a half the first night in a small container, not a full tub, unless it's all over your body, and then you're going to use about, you know, 1 or even 2 of the bags up to your neck, and really, you know, take care of, you know, kill what's trying to kill you. But I'll sit here for a second, chill. I'm gonna make some honey water. You say what you gotta say. Let's see, I had some music at one time. I don't know what's going on with the radio. Let's see. I don't know what that is. Just wanted to finish up my pizza and have some honey water and get rolling. Not sure what that is. So if you have a problem sleeping, I hope that this helped. And oh yeah, I think I mentioned the honeysuckle also as a incense. There's lots of different kinds of incense, but do not get incense made in China because it's chemical. This is important. Make sure you get it. Walmart has lavender that's made in India. But I go to the Taste of India restaurants that are in truck stops, and those gas stations or truck stops, whatever, sell those types of incense. That's where I get my incense. So people, yeah, I'll just cut this short because that's where I'm at. I think I've done what I plan to do. So don't follow me, follow God. Listen to what I'm saying though. I'm not perfect, haven't been. God's working on me. He's working on everybody. He can make Moses, who killed a man with a rock out of anger, into somebody who can lead his people. I'm just trying to give some information. I hope it's helpful. Y'all stay safe. I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm out. Peace.